I've had emails from concerned people who have family members or loved ones going through a benzo taper, asking questions about how you can help, how you can support. I'm not really sure what I can say in this one. The only thing I can really suggest for you to do is to try to be as understanding as you possibly can, because there will be many, many things that the person you care for will never be able to share with you because they're just too horrific and too horrendous. And also there can be times where they don't know themselves. In fact, most of the time, things can seem so disorientated and so unreal that it's hard to make sense of anything that is happening. I guess what I'm trying to say is just try to keep the home environment as calm as possible. Be understanding, stay calm, and try and encourage them to practice self-care. Try to get outside for a walk when you can. Try to be outside in the fresh air. Try to make sure they practice self-care and keep the home just as calm as possible. I understand that can be very difficult sometimes. So I'm going to share with you in this video, because you're still watching, that even though my benzo taper was horrendous and an absolute nightmare, and I've spoke about that on some other videos, but that's not what I want to talk with you about. Even though my personal benzo taper was an absolute nightmare, at the time I was a single parent. I was taking care of my 9-year-old daughter. We'd recently came back to the UK together, and I was in full-blown tolerance withdrawal. And trust me when I tell you, I was in hell. Hell. Nothing but pure terror constantly. There were many times I didn't even know that my daughter was real. In fact, many times I didn't know if she was real or a figment of my imagination. And I won't go into the darkness previous to that. But briefly, it entails my first daughter. It was a very, very dark time. So I do understand that keeping the situation calm and peaceful is not always there. But what you can do is make sure your partner practices self-care, breathes. Watch my other videos. My other videos will be helpful for many things. I've lived a very, very different type of life, and I've lived a very traumatic life. And I've come through the other side, so I know that you can heal. And I know your loved one can heal too. Just be there, be strong, be patient, be understanding. And above all, just be kind. Because I know from personal experience, 40 years of addiction, a lifetime of trauma and hell, now healed, it was the benzo taper and the benzo withdrawal that truly broke me. And always remember, as the name of my channel is called, you make sure to always remind your loved one, they never stop, they never give up, and that goes for you too.